Hi everyone, it's Evangeline, and today we'll be taking a look at our ditch brackets for Rhino-Rack LT600 quick mount legs right here at eTrailer. This is installed to a naked roof, but notice how we don't have clamps hooking down into our door. That's because we have the ditch mount brackets. So these are installed right into our ditch. They involve drilling and riveting, so definitely check out the install video for that. But this means that this is permanently mounted to our vehicle. A permanently installed system like this is not for everyone. Let's say you're just leasing your vehicle or you're planning on upgrading to a different vehicle next year. I don't recommend this system for you, and there's other options out there. You could get the crossbar systems that go right into your door. They're more temporary. You can take them out when you're done with them, and that's a great option too. You still have that good weight capacity. But if you're someone who is perfectly fine with drilling and riveting into the roof, and you want to make the most out of having a Pioneer platform on your roof and then have that extra weight capacity and versatility, then this might be a good option for you. So before installing your brackets, you first need to make sure that you have all of the right tools. So this is everything that I use. What's actually included in your kit is going to be your 5mm rivets, your butyl tape, your bracket that goes on top, and then this skirt for if you're going to be using a weather strip or if you have a weather stripping on top of your truck. In our case though, since we don't, we're just going to set this aside since it is optional. Now the tools that I brought to the table in order of being used is going to be your measuring tape. Please make sure you use the same measuring tape for this entire process. Once you've measured it out, double check those spots, go ahead and mark them. I use this as well to mark for where I'm going to put the drill. And then speaking of drill, I use a 5mm drill bit. Remember, 5mm, not 3/16. This is very important, especially once you have those holes drilled out. You're going to be using a rivet gun. Make sure you have the correct tips to match your rivets. Once everything's installed, this is going to be an extra sealant, just an extra precaution, especially since we don't have weather stripping on our truck. So once you've determined or checked that you have all the tools you need for this job, let's get started. The most important part here is to make sure your measurements are correct. So just closely follow those Rhino-Rack instructions just to make sure you get all your measurements correct. So you're going to have 3 holes that will match up the bracket, and then go ahead and once you've double checked your measurements and made sure they're not wrong, you're going to go ahead and mark those holes with a pen. So I just mark it over the bracket, that way I know it's all lined up, and I use painter's tape here just as an extra precaution. Next, to make sure that my drill doesn't skip, I'm just going to make a little hole punch here right where I marked it. There we go. We'll do that a couple times. Now that we have our holes punched, we're then going to make a pilot hole. And of course, please be careful when you do this. You don't want to go through your headliner. Fortunately, the truck we're working on has pretty good clearance, so I'm not that worried about it. Just be careful. After you make your pilot hole, you may have to build towards the 5mm drill bit, so go ahead and switch those out if needed. Keep double checking with your brackets to make sure that all your holes line up, and I'll get back to you once you've finished all 12. So that our clear coat is dry, and we're going to go on to the next step, which is to set up the butyl tape. These are squares with holes already in them, so that's nice. You're just going to put them over your holes and try to get them centered. Then place your bracket over those holes and push them down onto the tape just to get them secured, and then drop your rivet into the hole. So if you did this right, it should fit right through. The final step is to get your rivet gun, and there you go. Since we don't have that weather stripping, we put that sealant on there just to make sure everything is covered, and this is when you would install the rest of your towers. So that's it for the install process of your ditch brackets. Depending on the heights of your brackets and depending on your vehicle, it may be a little bit different, but just make sure you have the correct tools and you should be good to go. And that was a look at our ditch mount brackets for your Rhino Rack quick mount legs here at eTrailer. My name is Evangeline and I hope you enjoyed the journey.